Hello, everybody. I can see there are so many of you who have already joined. Hello and welcome to the Israeli-Palestinian Peace Intention Experiment. I'm thrilled to have so many of you here, and I'm broadcasting live from my community pages, basically to be able to control it more. And I'll be doing more and more intention experiments so that we're all engulfed in a great deal of privacy and community. But I'm also, for this historic event, also broadcasting live through YouTube and Facebook. As you can see, there's chat over on the side here, and I really encourage all of you to speak to each other, to speak to me, to tell me how you're experiencing this, what you're visualizing when we go through the experiment together, how you feel afterward, and much more. So let's get started. I want to talk to you a bit first about how brokenhearted we all are, how aghast we are at these unspeakable acts that have occurred in this region of the world over the past week and a half. We feel for all of those families who are grieving now. We feel for all of those hostages that are still taken. We find it unspeakable to hear the stories in the news every night about butchered babies and children, innocent people harmed, more and more people being killed on both sides, and more. So that's why we're bringing this together. And this is not the first peace intention experiment I've run. I've run about 12 of them. All of them have demonstrated an effect, not only on the targets themselves. I mean, in St. Louis, Missouri, we did an experiment for just one section, which was the most violent place in St. Louis, one neighborhood. And that violence level dropped by 43% compared to all of the other neighborhoods and St. Louis as a whole, which continued its upward trajectory. So we've seen the effects of our intentions and the power they have. But I've also seen the power of intention experiments of coming together in a form of secular, united prayer to heal the participants themselves. I saw this from the first time I ran a peace intention experiment back in 2008. We ran it to end the war in Sri Lanka, which had been a 25-year intractable war. When we did our intention, 10 minutes a day over 8 days, we saw a big increase in violence and then a plummeting, and then some major things that had happened, because during just the 8 days of our experiment, the government won a number of decisive battles that turned around the entire course of the war. Within a few months, it had recaptured the north, which had been choked off. And within a few months after that, that war ended in a bloody finish, but it ended. We've seen this with many intention experiments, but even back in 2008, the most surprising element for me wasn't even the effect on the targets. Maybe we did that, maybe we didn't. The effect was undeniable, however, on the participants themselves. I surveyed them, just as I'm going to survey you at the end of this intention experiment. And I discovered something shocking. I discovered thousands of people writing in to say their lives had become more peaceful. They had made up with estranged partners or husbands or wives. They were getting along better with their coworkers and their bosses. They were hearing from children they hadn't heard from for decades, or parents who suddenly got in touch even after disowning them. But most of all, about half of them recorded they felt more love for everyone they came into contact with. I was shocked by this the notion that people were going around hugging strangers. But then I started recognizing over time that coming together in a group, doing intention experiments, creates a kind of mirror effect. When we do that and send it out, it comes back to us too. It creates peace in our own hearts. I've seen this with warring tribes numerous times. For the 10th anniversary of 9/11, and many people are calling this Israeli attack another 9/11. For that 10th anniversary, I wanted to do something a little different. So I invited Arabs and Americans and other Westerners to do an intention together to lower violence in Afghanistan, which was going through a war at the time, initiated by the US, of course. So we did an intention, and I had invited Dr. Salah al-Rashed, who is like the Deepak Chopra of the Middle East, to invite his following to come together with my Westerners and Americans. And we did an intention together. We had some very intriguing results according to data supplied to me by NATO on Afghanistan. But for me, the real outcome of the experiment was what happened between the Arabs and Americans. They were sending love to each other. They were saying, your God is my God. The Americans were forgiving the Arabs. The Arabs were apologizing for it. Everybody was apologizing for everything, and love was in the air. The same thing happened in 2017. I ran an experiment, putting cameras in 8 different conference rooms in 8 different Arab cities. The 9th camera was placed in an auditorium full of Israeli Jews. I had to broker the entire arrangement because both sides were not speaking to each other. These were their hated enemies. Yet by the end of our intention, which was to lower violence in Jerusalem, the Arabs were sending love to the Israelis. The Israelis were crying and saying, your love, your God is my God. Love again was in the air. The heart was leaping across the fence and connecting with people not like them, people they had considered hated enemies. I've seen this happen over and over again. There's a very good reason for this, and that is an enormous effect in the power of doing this kind of altruistic prayer, if you want to call it that, that enables the heart to leap across the fence. It's been shown by research from the University of California at Berkeley that when we engage in this kind of altruistic act, we are able to connect with people not like us, people with a different belief system. And so I think this is the real treasure of any intention experiment, not just the effect on the target, although we pray for an effect today, but on the hearts and in the hearts of everyone taking part. We create love, acceptance, tolerance in everyone who takes part. And after all, that is where it all starts. Our sense of otherness, our sense of polarization. When we believe and when we come to act as though we have the only version of the truth, that our beliefs are the only right ones, the only imperative to follow, that's where hatred and all of this begins. So what we are doing with this intention experiment, we're not just healing the target. We are healing ourselves. We are healing our own sense of polarization, which is worse than ever before in places like where I live in the UK, in America, and all over the world. More and more of a sense of isolation and otherness. So what I'd like to do with this intention experiment, although it is focused on that area of need of Israel and the Gaza Strip, This is also an intention to heal you too. So I'm going to be asking you afterward what happened to you, as well as looking at what happens to that region. So what I have discovered too, when we have this love in our hearts, when we do feel like hugging strangers, it's not only something that happens to us, it's something that causes an enormous ripple effect. Harvard research done by a guy called Nicholas Christakis has studied social networks, and he's found that when you're happy, you're more likely to have happy friends, not because you self-select happy people to be with, but because of the natural spread of happiness down a social network. But the same has to do with giving and tolerance and love. When we do a simple kindness to someone else, believe it or not, it goes 3 degrees down a social network. What does that mean? If I'm kind to Peter, he's more likely to be kind to Paul, who's more likely to be kind to Jane, who's more likely to be kind to Alice. And each of them then has that kind of ripple effect down a social network. So imagine this act of doing an intention experiment has the potential to create a tsunami of love and giving out there in the world. And that has the potential to begin to heal the world. So I'm inviting you to be part of that too. I'm going to be asking you to hold a specific intention. And the intention is purposefully ecumenical. It's about healing all the people in that region. It's about peace and justice for everyone in that region. So we're going to be holding that. And I'm going to ask you during the intention to enable yourself to have vivid images and visualizations of peace, of what's going on there. Allow your mind not to wander from the intention, but enable it to see that intention in action. And feel free after the intention to write down what you saw and what you felt. If you felt electricity, if you began to cry, tell us about it. Tell everybody on this historic call. So we're going to get started. So I want you to get comfortable. We're going to hold this intention for 10 minutes. That may seem like a long time, but it'll probably fly by. Again, I want you to hold it when I speak the intention, and we're going to breathe it. I'll walk you through it in a moment. I want you to take it down to your heart, because this isn't a head exercise, it's a heart exercise. I want you to take it down to your heart and send it out to that region, and then allow yourself to imagine peace in that area. See it, feel it, taste it, smell it, know it. Experience it with all of your senses. And just hold it and stay in that state of focused intention for the 10 minutes. And I'll let you know when those 10 minutes are up. So it will seem quiet, but you'll feel highly connected. And if you feel connected with everybody on this live stream, please let us know and write it down. Okay, let's get comfortable now. Let's take a deep inhale and a deep exhale. And a deep inhale and a deep exhale. And a deep inhale. And a deep exhale. And now, on the inhalation, I want you to hold the following intention with me. Our intention is that all hostages be immediately released without harm in Gaza, that all the injured on both Israel and Gaza be healed and live, that all the grieving be comforted by a great wave of love and connection being sent to them from us, and that there be immediate and total peace and justice for all in the entire region of Israel and Palestine. Let's take that all down to our hearts. Let's feel that viscerally. Let's feel that love pouring out for that entire region without taking sides, without only pouring it into one side. And send it out, allow it to unfurl. Imagine it going to that region as you allow yourself in your mind's eye to hold that intention and see those images of peace in detail for these 10 minutes. So I'm going to be keeping time, and I'd like you to just hold this together with me. See those images of peace, feel them, smell them, taste them, know them with every pore of your body. See peace. Feel the connection with the thousands of people on this live stream. We're moving into halfway through. Keep holding this intention. Our intention is that all hostages be immediately released without harm, that all the injured be healed and live, that all the grieving and those people who have lost loved ones be comforted by a great wave of love and connection coming from all of us, and that there be immediate peace and justice for all in the entire region of Israel and Palestine. Let's hold it together for the next few minutes. Keep imagining in your mind's eye what peace looks like to you in Israel and Gaza. Hold that for the final 2 minutes. Our final 10 seconds coming up. Okay, everybody, let go of that intention, trust the process, and in your own time, come back to the present moment and join me again on this live stream. And take a moment to write in the chat, what did you see? What did you experience? Did you feel everyone else? Could you feel the energy on this live stream? All the thousands of people who are out there joining you and taking part. Write what you saw. Write how you felt. Someone said, I see Muslim women going to the University of Tel Aviv. I saw us in a big huddle of love. I saw children playing happily in the streets and adults joyfully having dinner parties in the streets. There are so many gorgeous things. I can barely read them. They're just beautiful. People seeing people on both sides connecting together. I cried so much, said one. Families eating on the beach together. Just amazing, amazing comments from everybody. Thank you so much for everyone writing in. Don't forget what you've seen. Don't forget what you've felt. And let me know also, did you feel the connection with everyone? I'm seeing all kinds of people and so many images of children, Arabs and Israeli children playing together. So much like this. I think of Lily from my intention experiment for Israel when we had the Arabs and Israelis doing it together. Lily saying, we are thousands of people. We are thousands of women here saying enough. And if we can extend out in our own feelings of connection and love, we can ignite a movement for peace that would change the world. So I want you all to remember how this feels. I'm going to be sending you a survey in a few weeks, everyone who signed up for this intention experiment, because as I mentioned, part of this experiment is finding out what happened to the participants. So observe your own life. Don't make it happen, just observe what happens in your life in the next few weeks. Is it more loving? Is it more peaceful? How do you feel toward people you don't agree with? How do you feel toward people you feel polarized from, who may have a different political persuasion than you, or a different religion, or a different color? Observe what happens to you in your heart. I'll send you that survey and I would love to hear back from you. I want to see whether or not we can ignite a candle that will light the world. So please fill out that form, observe what happens in your life, look at connecting with, make a point of connecting with someone who is not like you, someone you've disagreed with, maybe even hated, and see what happens if your heart can leap across the fence. So it's been wonderful being here with you. I love all the extraordinary comments that you've been writing and writing to each other. You can continue writing these as I just say my last few words, which is simply, please go out and create peace in your own life. Go out and create peace with people you haven't been peaceful with. See if it can start with you. And also, if work can end with you. Thank you so much for being part of this peace intention experiment. It's been beautiful spending this time with you, feeling the love and connection, and also the heartbreak, but knowing that the solution lies with all of us. The solution lies with understanding that sometimes these intractable situations happen because they start with both sides having a different truth, both sides having an equal view, and that there isn't one version of the truth. Sometimes there are many, and our challenge is going to be living with that, understanding it, and opening our hearts to it. Thank you so much. I hope to see you again.